Hi, everybody. Okay, can I get a thumbs up if everyone can hear me? Okay. Just want to double check. I just want to know if I am audible. Can you hear me and see me? Perfect. Okay, great. I just got confirmation that we are live and you can hear me and see me. So I'll just start. Hi, everybody. My name is Breska. I am the market specialist for Turkey at Mohawk College. Unfortunately, I do not speak Turkish, so I will be presenting in English, and hopefully you understand me. If you have any questions, you could always write them down below in Turkish, and I could use Google Translator, or someone from VAF can assist me with translating. So I'll go ahead and share my screen to commence the presentation. Okay. All right. Okay, great. So I am from Mohawk College, and this presentation will give you an introduction to our college, as well as provide you with information on how you can apply. So my end goal here today is I want you to make the decision of, or think about joining our family at Mohawk College. We are very welcoming, and we want you to feel like you're joining a new community or a new family in Canada. So where is Mohawk College? So Mohawk College is in a city. It's called Hamilton. It's in Ontario. So the best way I explain where Hamilton is, it's about 45 minutes away from Toronto and 45 minutes away from Niagara Falls. So just in the middle. It's a mid-sized city with over 500,000 international community. So there's a bit of everyone there. It's the fastest growing economy in Ontario. It is a beautiful city if you're thinking of nature or anything like that. It's home to 100 different beautiful waterfalls from all over the world, from like anywhere that you'd see around the world, actually. Also, if you have family or if you're thinking of settlement opportunities, Hamilton is an excellent city for that because it provides lots of opportunities for your kids, for your spouse, work opportunities, housing, things like that. A quick comparison that I like to do. A lot of people, from like international students specifically, when they're thinking of applying to Ontario, the first city that comes to their mind is Toronto, because that's where we're all familiar with, right? So I just wanted to quickly compare the benefits of Hamilton versus Toronto, and you can analyze yourself if it's the right choice for you. So first of all, the most important part is the cost of living is much cheaper than Toronto. In fact, now it's just like half the price. So for instance, a student housing apartment in Toronto will cost you around $700 a month. And then in Hamilton, you could expect it to range from $450 to $500 a month. It's also living expenses are about 20% lower. As I said before, we have lots of newcomers and international community. And an interesting part is the unemployment rate is almost half as less. It might not seem as a big difference when you're looking at the number 6.4 compared to 3.5. But when you're an international student graduating and you want to get a job so you could get so you can apply for a postgraduate work permit, this makes a big difference. And I'll explain more later on throughout the presentation. Yeah, so I could talk even more about living in Hamilton, and I touched upon all the most important parts. So it's a beautiful city, and all of our international students would definitely agree. Like myself, I used to live in Toronto, and it's been 6 years that I've been living in Hamilton, and I love it. I can't even expect to go back. So now let's talk about why Mohawk College is your number one choice. So Mohawk College is the number one college in the greater Toronto and Hamilton area for 7 years in a row. So our reputation is pretty high up there, and we'd like to keep it like that. Our students also would agree. Actually, 96% of our graduates would refer Mohawk to a friend, and 85% of our graduates work within 6 months of graduating. This is huge. We have a whole department and resources to help you get the information or get the skills, update your resume, or get in touch or connected with resources that will help you find a job. And we are really, really strongly committed to that 6 months of helping you find a job after graduating. Our student body is, we have over 30,000 students at our college. 4,400 of those students are international students, and they come from all over the world. So 90 different countries all over the world. So when I ask students, I don't like to ask them what they want to study. I always like to ask them, who do you want to become? The reason for that is I found, during my previous trips to Turkey especially, I found that there was not a lot of clarity between, not a lot of clarity in terms of students understanding what the difference is between a college in comparison to a university. So a university is what we're traditionally, I'm from the Middle East, so I kind of understand the expectation of Turkey and that part of the world, and that is to go to university, get your bachelor's, master's, and PhD, that route. But in college, when students complete their high school studies, they have two options. They could either go to university, that traditional route that we're familiar with, or they could go to college. University is theoretical, you're familiar with it. College, on the other hand, is practical experience. So the benefits of college, especially for international students, is that it's 3 times cheaper to study in a college. It's much, the study duration is usually 2 years, and graduate level programs are 1 year. So it's very short-term programs, and they focus on specific programs that will get you job ready. So when you go to a college, you're studying something to prepare yourself to work in whatever you're studying. So for example, we have graphic design, software development, we have accounting, we have music programs, photography. So there is a bit of everything, anything that you would like. In fact, we have over 100 different programs for our international students, and they range from everything. On top of what I mentioned, we have nursing programs, cardiovascular technology. So the reason why I'm telling you these names is to get you thinking about what types of programs we have, right? So all the programs that I'm mentioning, you could already imagine a job associated with it, right? And when you're thinking about university, you might study things like sociology or life science. These are very broad topics, right? So these are very broad topics, and sometimes you have a confusion about where you will end up or what job you'll get, right? But in college, it's different. You're studying something to go in that job. So we have beautiful campuses. In fact, right now I could safely confirm that there's 4 different campuses or areas that you'll be studying. Our main campus is the Fennel campus, which is on the top left. And that's where most of the programs are, like any business programs, community service programs, things like that. It will all be on the Fennel campus. We also have the Institute of Applied Health Sciences, which is a campus building located right inside McMaster University, which is also in Hamilton, Ontario. We have the Living Lab, or the Aviation Center. This is a pretty cool campus. Actually, it just completed recently, and it's like a center located right in the heart of Hamilton Airport, and this is where all our aviation programs are. So we have our own aircrafts, and students can study. They could get their practical experience. They could do all of it right on campus, right in the center of Hamilton Airport. Our other campus is actually the Stoney Creek campus, and this is also just about 15 minutes off from Hamilton, but this is a fairly new campus, and this is where we have our like skilled trade programs, electrician programs, things like that. So we have excellent learning facilities. So basically we have all the equipment that you can expect in modern day jobs in Canada. So we like to pride ourselves in keeping our technology up to date. So whatever you're learning in class, whatever you're practicing on is exactly what you'll expect once you graduate and you're looking for a job. Another program I'd like to introduce you to is the English for Academic Purposes. If you're a student who doesn't have the English requirements yet, or need to improve your English a little bit in order to study in an academic level, you can take this program. It's an 8-level program, and each level is about 2 months in duration. So this program, it kind of sets you up so you have all the English requirements, not only to speak and communicate, but also be ready for your academic journey. So it teaches you things like, writing essays, things that you should know before you're going to pursue your studies. It makes life much easier. And after you complete this program, not only can you go to whatever program you're interested at Mohawk College, you also get 2 free credits that you can take off from that program that you're interested in. It doesn't mean you'll take all 8 programs. Whatever level you will be taking is dependent on your level of English. So this program, English for Academic Purposes, EAP program, is available for you if you need to improve your English level first. So college might not be the end goal for everyone, right? So I explained earlier that in our cultures, the expectation usually is towards university, right? And I understand that. So I've listed a bunch of universities, both in Canada and internationally, that we have partnership with. So some of our programs, we have partnerships where it would allow you to complete that 2-year or 3-year diploma or advanced diploma program, and then you can save 2 years or 1 year by going to university afterwards. So it kind of maps your way, right? So not only will you get a diploma or advanced diploma, you could work right away. You can also save a year or 2 by going to university, right? So that's also something to think about, right? So for example, we're a public college, right? So when you study in a public college in Ontario, you are so if you study 2 years or more, you're able to apply for what is called a postgraduate work permit. So this means you could work for up to 3 years in Canada. And this is important because if you're thinking of immigrating to Canada and getting a permanent residency, you would need to go to a public college. You need to follow this rule, right? So you need to go to a public college, get your postgraduate work permit, get points so you could apply for your permanent residency. So some of our students like to do that. They like to come to college, get that experience, find a job, work, be a PR, and then apply to universities as a domestic student, saving you lots of money. So I'm just pointing out things that you could think about when you're shaping your map to study abroad. I'd also made a little chart to kind of give you a estimate on what your studies will cost, how much your studies will cost. Just keep in mind that all the money that I've posted up here is in Canadian dollars. So typically your tuition fees can range between $8,000 to $10,000, and this is a semester. So that's how much you could typically expect for tuition. And the rest are just textbook and housing and all those other things, living expenses that I've kind of put out there. So if you're thinking about studying abroad or studying in Canada, this is a good reference sheet for you, right? So if you want to estimate if you have that financial resources, this is where you should, this is something you can consider, right? Especially for your visa purposes. To get a successful visa application, you should have 1 year of your tuition fees available, and as well as have proof of 1 year that you could support yourself financially through housing, living expenses, all that. You should talk about those things with an immigration consultant. I'm just giving you a nudge to go to the right direction, right? Another thing that I'm sure I will get if we have time at the end of this to ask questions is if we have scholarships or bursaries. So for international students, before you start your studies, unfortunately, there are no bursaries or scholarships. We do have some scholarships and bursaries that will help a little bit towards paying off your tuition fees. Excuse me, but that's available after you start your studies. So it's not available beforehand, unfortunately. So just keep that in mind. So I had a couple of questions during the fair and the chat boxes, and they were towards working and if you're allowed to work while you're studying. So if you're a full-time student, you're allowed to work maximum 20 hours a week while you're studying full-time. During holidays and summer breaks, you're allowed to work full-time, which is 40 hours a week. And of course, you could work on and off campus. It doesn't matter. But another thing, we have co-op. So co-op in Canada is when students 1 semester or 2 semesters of your studies will be paid work experience exactly in the field that you're interested in. Some of our programs do have this option. They have the option of co-op placement, and you could apply for it, and you could, before you even graduate, you have 1 semester or 2 semesters working as, electrical engineer, right? And you already have that on your resume or CV, which is great. On top of the co-op placement, we also have just regular placements. And actually, most of our programs, they have placement opportunities where you could get experience, but they won't be paid. So they're just part of your program where you just get experience and build your connections. They won't be paid. So there's that option. A postgraduate work permit, I already talked about. And then there's spousal and family work opportunities. I won't go into that because I don't know the demographic here, but you should speak to an immigration consultant about this. So how do you apply? So the application process is fairly easy. So if you are applying through agent, which I highly recommend, which I'm sure you are right now, please apply through them. If you don't have an agent, then you can apply directly to me. So the application process, whether you're applying to your agent, an agent is better because they could guide you more on the right path. You need your application form. You need a copy of your passport. You need your transcript. So if you're applying for diploma programs, you need your high school. If you're applying for graduate level, you need your high school and your bachelor's or master's or whatever. You need proof of that. And you need your IELTS, TOEFL, or if you don't have this, then you need to take EAP in advance. And there's an application fee. For anyone that's in this presentation, if I will waive the application fee of $100 if you apply by the end of this month. So when you're applying, I will waive that off. You could reference VEF Fair, and we'll go ahead and do that for our partner VEF for allowing us to have the seminar. So when you submit your documents, right now we're accepting applications for September intake. So so that's when you should apply. If you're applying for EAP, I could potentially have a start date of May for you. So you could take like one semester of EAP and then go into your program if that works for you. So once you submit it, it takes about a month to receive a letter of acceptance. Once you receive your letter of acceptance, you can apply for your visa. One thing I would encourage now, the visa processes, as you might know, right now are longer than ever because of COVID. So if you're thinking of applying, just apply way in advance just to make sure that you have a seat, you have your letter of acceptance, you're applying for visa. So God forbid, if anything happens, let's say your visa is refused, you have an opportunity to appeal it, right? So planning in advance is so important. While I'm on this slide, I'd like to also mention about our program. So right now, for September, the college has not confirmed if it will be online or in person. The reason for that is because it depends on the COVID cases and it depends on border closures. For example, right now, the borders are closed, right? So students are not allowed to come to Canada and they have to take their studies online from their home countries. But what will happen in 1 year from now on, we don't know. And that's why the college can't confirm. But I'm hopeful, and I'm sure everyone is, that things will definitely get better by then. So that was a little bit of an introduction to our college, our programs, and what to expect by studying in a college in Canada. And I hope this made your decision to study in Canada a little bit more clear. If not, like we have at Mohawk College a lot of services directly for international students that will help you with whatever it is. If you have academic questions, if you want to know more about our on-campus facilities, our health and wellness, like, health insurance, anything like that, we have a whole department that specifically specializes on international international needs, right? So myself, I'll be the representative for Turkey. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. I can answer all your questions, and no matter what it is. If you do not speak English, or you could write to me through WhatsApp or Instagram or email in Turkish, and I will use our good friend Google Translator, and I will answer your question for sure. Your agent should also be your first point of contact. So if it's a basic question, it's not too complex about our college, your agent is your number one reference. They are just as knowledgeable about our college as I am. If you're not able to reach them, you could contact me, but please make sure you let me know who your agent is. Okay. Great. I hope to one day see you in Hamilton, and I hope this presentation was useful for you. I'm not sure if there is any room for questions here. I'm not sure how it's set up, but if there is, I could see the comment section here, and I could try to answer them for you. Like, for instance, I'm seeing some questions already here. I'm not sure if they're from before. Okay, so someone says they know Jack Denmo. He's a YouTuber apparently, and he talks about college campuses, which is great. YouTube is a great reference to, especially if you're an international student, you really want to get a sense of campuses and programs and things. YouTube is a great reference. Mohawk College has a YouTube page, and they have details about all their programs. So that's pretty cool reference point. And yeah, McMaster University is about 10 to 15 minutes away from us. We have one whole campus there, the Applied Health and Science campus, which is our nursing and cardiovascular technology and all that. Someone's asking, what are the general admission requirements? So I went through it a little bit in the presentation. But basically, it depends on each program, right? Some programs will specifically ask you for grade 12 mathematics with like 60% mathematics or 80% mathematics. So the best part is to go to like our website and look at admission requirements, right? You could also contact me, and I'll definitely look that up for you. So I'm not sure if we have any other questions. I'll just give a couple more minutes. Um, I could, answer any questions you want. Someone just said that, you could state your question in Turkish and I will answer them. That's true. I use Google Translator and I'll try my best. So we don't have PhD program, but we do have a lot of health programs. Not in a graduate level, but we do have a lot of them. And I will respond to that now. I don't know how to do that, but okay. If you have any questions, please message me in the fair. I'm not able to respond to the comment through text. So I could definitely answer your question there. You could WhatsApp me, Instagram me, doesn't matter. Okay, so I don't think there'll be any more questions, but I hope that someone's helping me out, Barack. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. No problem, Yulku. That's really nice of you guys. Okay, thank you so much. I hope that that this presentation was helpful for you. I hope that you at least got an introduction to our college. I wish you all the best in your search, and I hope all the best things for you. And thank you so much for Barak for translating there for me, and I wish you guys all the best. Until next time.